getting dialed in here. A little bit of sound, make sure the sound's okay. How we doing? Everybody good? I want to talk about load boxes today with the new Friedman sneak peek with the Pete Thorne thing. I talked to Pete this morning. It was cool to get it from the proverbial horse's mouth. I wanted to talk about Shiprocked coming up. Some of the heavy stuff we're doing for it. NAMM predictions. All the good stuff. Right? I've been kind of working on this. Like, I got a little acoustic that lives on the couch, and that's like one of the most played guitars that I have, just because I sit on the couch and, you know, jam on it. Kind of working on this little baby arrangement of this. This part's the hardest. Yeah, doing that's the trickiest part. It's really hard to grab that. It's just in progress, you know. It's not anything that's completed or done, but just something to tweak on. It's like seeing John Mayer do it on that Michael Jackson thing was so cool, you know. But he doesn't do that part. So I thought maybe I'd try to it's neat. Ah, shit. There we go. That's the hardest section, right? In the key of D, this stuff kind of lays out because you get all these open strings, you know? You get all that E minor information just kind of free. It's pretty. I'm kind of working on it. It's not done yet. I like to just kind of have some stuff to work on when I'm not working on like the serious stuff, like the like this metal stuff that we're doing is like, you know, it's super heavy. All that kind of stuff, you know, it's like super chuggy. You know, my tone for that is not really as good as using the old Diesel Herbert, which is like definitely smashes that kind of sound. But yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on for NAMM. Let's do one more. Let's play one more song. Maybe we'll play one more. I don't know what to play. Let's try one. Yeah, pretty fun one. Yeah, pretty fun one to do. It's good stuff in that. Let's see here. Maybe one more. Do we do another one just for fun? I don't know. Can look at the tunes. Just wondering what I haven't played in a while, you know? Another one in the key of D. Do we do 2 in the key of D? Maybe? getting warmed up. I haven't played enough today. I've not played enough guitar today. That's for sure. Some of those were crispy licks. Am I using the VP4 right now? Yeah, I am using it currently in this exact moment in time. And I think it sounds really good. If I sounded good, I don't sound good. Yeah, it's that verb off of there. Some good stuff in that one too. I've enjoyed learning some of these tunes this year for the old Stowaways sets and digging in here on it. And let's talk about load boxes. So I'm a big purveyor of load boxes. For those that don't know, we're at an interesting point as guitar players, and we have a lot of options in front of us. We have the idea of modeling and going like full fractal VP4, quad cortex plugins. You know, I think the youngsters love the plugins, and I think that's a great option. I do. I don't want to sound like an elitist or gatekeeping, so if I start to sound that way, hit the brakes on me. I think there's a lot of options right now as far as how to get your signal out and how to get a good guitar tone that you like, right? So load boxes started kind of more for the studio to the home studio, right? Like I specifically think of the Sir Reactive Load IR, and that's a great price point. That's a great entry level. Trying to think about how I want to word it. A great entry level professional tier item. You see what I'm saying? Like the cost of the Sir Reactive Load IR is better than any of them for the level of gear that you're getting. It's super professional grade. You've got the Two Notes companies and what they do. Everybody's got their version of the thing. Live, I've been using that Reload 2, which is killer. The Friet Power Station is killer. Like, I really love the Friet Power Station. They've all got things they do well. Let me turn off this second camera to where you're not just looking at my elbow. I just noticed that. They've all got things they do well. They've all got things that somebody else does better. Like, I really love the way the Sir Reactive Load, the load impedance feels good. I like the Two Notes for live application because you get a stereo effects loop. The Friet is built like a tank and has an effects loop. It's not a stereo effects loop, so it gets into that, right? They all do something. They all do a thing that is good. Some have IRs built in. You know, we're talking about like the Universal Audio aux is one of my favorites. I like to record with that. That's one of my favorite tools in the studio is the aux. Really is one of my favorites. I recorded almost all of the guitars on Charisma and Junktown with an Ox. Love it. But today, there's been a little bit of a leak. It's funny, I was talking to Pete, and a little bit of leak for the Friedman version. Now, Dave Friedman, as you know, builds some fantastic stuff, and is a friend of mine. I like Dave. I like his amps. We've had him at the Woodshed Guitar Experience. He's probably gonna come back this year and hang out with us. I really like what he does for the guitar community. I like how involved he is with all his different artists, all his stuff. He's just a bro, you know. So, and he's hyper knowledgeable. My God, yeah, you know. Pete Thorne, on the other hand, is a friend of mine on the other side of the game, where he's a player. He's a guy that plays standing up. He uses a guitar strap, you know, plays live. There's been a lot of stinks about Ichika miming. I saw all that stuff on the internet. Pete's a live player. I like to play live. You're going to hit some bum notes when you play live, but it's like, can you play? You know what I mean? It's just that kind of thing. Can you play or can you not play, right? It's just, that's really all it boils down to. Pete's a great player. He gets a great sound. So this mergence of those two individuals has resulted in this Friedman IR. It's leaked out on Instagram. It's on Facebook. There's a partnership with Synergy. I'm going to read you what Pete had on it. Here we go. Here, hang on. Here's the Pete Thorne. My phone's blowing up with all the stuff for Shiprocked. Here we go. Here's Pete saying, and this is me reading Pete's Instagram post. I'm currently on the road, so I can't make it to NAMM this year, but there's a few things that I'm involved with the show. I truly enjoy seeing guitar and product projects come to fruition. I'm always honored and overjoyed when my suggestions and ideas are deemed valid, worthy enough to be implemented in physical products. I mean, that's a big one right there. You know you're doing something right if a manufacturer wants your input. Dave Friedman has been maintaining my guitar rigs for 30 years now. He's a great friend. We've had some terrific talks about guitar tone over the years. Our conversations will often start with, you know what would be really cool? And then we just back and forth for a few minutes, getting all our ideas out. That happens all the time. Like, I talk to Dave in that same manner. And just in general, you know, my friends at Sir, Brian Wampler, and all the manufacturers that I like, Rob Keeley, and all the guys that are really great. The best stuff comes from like, hey, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be neat if something, you know, that's really where it all comes from. Pete goes on to say the IR load, which is the name of the Friedman box, is the IR load. Started just like that, talking about what would it look like to see a kitchen sink device for loading a tube amp, adding effects, stereo or mono, transparently reamping it, stereo or mono, at any volume, and adding high quality speaker sims to send to a PA or recording interface, again, stereo or mono. This is really huge that it's stereo. Like, for a guy like me, that's huge. He says there's a number of really good units out there, but we recognize that there actually wasn't something that just kind of is an everything. And then Pete goes on with a caveat. He says, quick caveat. For years, I've promoted and used the Sir Reactive Load and the Reactive Load IR. They are fantastic units, will serve you more than well. If your main goal is just loading a speaker sim, they are a much different price point. He uses the term different. I would say the term better. Cheaper cost is great. And the Sir Reactive Load IR, bang for buck, is pretty daggum unbelievable. So, he says, different price point, still a terrific choice. Absolutely the right price point for many applications. But as I was saying, if you want and need the whole shebang, IRs, load, stereo effects, reamp, all in one box, the IR does it all like no other. With this new power amp design that combines the best things that Class D has to offer. It's lightweight, it's size, it's high power, a completely unique digitally controlled analog design that sounds, punches, and feels very much like your transparent amp. Most Class D sounds super stiff and hard, and if there is a tonal compensation circuit, it's usually done with a simple EQ. In layman's terms, the design and the IR load can actually respond in real time to the particular speaker cabinet that you're plugged into, very much like a tube amp. Transparent, but it feels great, just like your amp. That is really exciting, and it's hard to tell from the photo how big it is, but you know, it looks to be somewhere in that like UA aux kind of range, which is important because if you're going to fly it, you're going to want it to fit into a Pelican or something like that. You know, I use one of those, like, I think it's made for firearms, and it's like a super high durability kind of case. And I put the Reload 2 in it and fly with it that way. When I get to the gig, you know, I've got my stereo sound, right? Which is kind of cool. So that's what that thing is. Now, let's get into the ethos and let's get into the minutia here of the nitty gritty. I just realized my Pepsi can almost matches my guitar. It's pretty good. The nitty gritty here is, who are load boxes for? Who are they for? I would venture to say that they are for more people, more musicians in live applications than most musicians realize. Okay? Hang with me here for a second. So with the load box in a live format, you can tame an amp like an SL68 or a Fender Twin. You can kind of tame that, but let the amp be loud. SL0100 is another one I'm thinking of. A lot of these amps don't have effects loops, and if they don't have an effects loop, or if they do have an effects loop, it's really not that good. Like, I don't really like the SL0100 effects loop. No offense, Mike Soldano, but that amp's a monster. I just don't like the effects loop. With so many of these items, like the Fryette Power Station and the Reload 2, you're able to add all of your time-based stuff after the actual power amp, okay? So just in of how this piece of gear serves you, the musician, you're able to tame the volume on stage. You're able to put your effects proper after the power amp and everything, as if they were on a bus or something, or adding it post-production. This is great. This is fantastic. It makes it sound correct. You know, it makes it sound good. And that's all self-serving. Let's step into an area where most people think that they're not really thinking about it, which is how you relate to front of house, how you relate to, but we're talking about a club gig. We're talking about playing your local bar, and you throw a 57 on your amplifier and let the PA, you know, do the thing. Well, a lot of club gigs and a lot of church gigs or anything, you know, any kind of situation where you want to have an amp. You want an amp. You don't want to just throw a modeler on the ground and go for it. A lot of times it's not very fulfilling. It's not very inspiring. A lot of guys say that. I'm not just, you know, talking to hear myself talk. A lot of people say this. You can have your amp on stage. You can have your stuff in stereo. You can be serving yourself and your own ego and your own pride and your own inspirations and your own ecosystem to make yourself feel good, to play good, to be inspired to play good. But a lot of these items, like the aux, you know, sending a IR out, you know, this kind of stuff to front of house, it eliminates the possibility and the probability of microphones and microphone inconsistency. In the studio, a microphone tends to go through a big API or a Neve or something swanky. Live, you're not doing that, okay? Especially if you're playing club gigs, bar gigs, frat parties, whatever. You're not doing these kind of things. It's just going straight into your console, probably a Behringer or a Presonus or something like that. So now on the gig, you got a can of Pepsi, you sit it down, you know, you're walking over to get a drink, you knock into the mic stand. If the stage has got a little rumble to it and the mic stand starts moving a little bit, that microphone's just going to kind of creep on over. Well, then it's out of phase. Now, what you're doing that thing, right? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know and you just hear me making noises with my mouth, that's what happens. A microphone will have an EQ curve on it, and as you rotate the microphone around the speaker, it's going to change, being consistent. Now with a modeler, you're able to have or not with a modeler, but with a load box, you're able to do what the modeler can't do, and you're able to have your amp and your cabinets on stage doing what you want with whatever volume you want it to be at, and then you can leash that volume and send to front of house. I think load boxes are the best thing that's come out in the past 30 years of guitar playing for me. My taste buds, the way I like to do it. I think modelers are cool. I've got 3 within arm's reach right here. If you look behind me, there's an FM9 over there. I think modelers have their place. I think plugins have their place. All of these devices have their place, but at the end of the day, if I'm not on in-ears and I just am doing my stuff, I want to hear my cabinets, and I also want to send a signal to front of house that is not going to change throughout the evening in any way, shape, or form. Load boxes to me are the future. They're the present. They're the best thing that's come out. I'm excited to see what this IR load is going to do for the competition. Did Reload 2 kick off a little bit of a, it's like, is this a niche product? Here's the thing. I don't think that it's as niche as it is. Let me rephrase that. It's niche, but I don't think people realize how it's not, right? So many guys would be so much happier if they go out and play with a 100-watt amp and they can just control the volume of it. Their tone can be what inspires them, and they can leash the volume, right? It's looked at through the lens of a niche product, but I feel like it's way more mainstream than guys are giving it credit for. So I'm excited for this. I bet it's going to be great. More importantly, anything that those two cats do, Dave Friedman and Pete Thorne, it's going to be so good that the rest of the industry will react to it. The rest of the industry will be forced to acknowledge it. The rest of the industry will have to raise their game. Right? This is where, you guys have heard me say this on my channel, that I like consumerism and I like capitalism. It doesn't mean that I like poor people to be poor and rich people to be rich. That's not what that means. What that means is, in a healthy, competitive state, the winner is the consumer. You see what I mean by that? I think Ferrari needs Lamborghini. I think Mustang needs the Corvette. I think the Telly needs the Les Paul. It's like these things need to exist. I think the John Petrucci guitar needs its, it's like a round and round. There's a lot of requests about guitars, guys. Am I boring you? Jason just keeps saying, "Hey, let me guitar. Let me hear the orange one." Yeah, well, I'll play guitar for you. I just figured this was a great topic. Am I off? What's going on in the chat? What's going on with you guys? Is this boring? Am I the only one enthralled by this? Am I speaking into an echo chamber? Tell me right now. Is this not interesting? It's not about the economics. It's not about the economics. It's about how a great product like the Sur Reactive Load, a great product like the Reload 2, like the UA Aux, a great product like that. They need Dave Friedman and Pete Thorne and Dave Friedman to come out with a killer version to make the whole level of how people are doing things come up. Like, this goes back to our Fender talk. John Suhr and Tom Anderson and Tyler, they got to make Fender walk the line. Because what are you going to do? You going to pay $8,000 and get a Fender that a $3,400 Anderson will absolutely smoke? Because that's the world we live in right now, in the big 26. Like, Fender should sweat bullets because they're putting out custom shop guitars that are twice as expensive as your Suhrs. And the Suhrs are going to smoke dog them. The Andersons are going to smoke them. And I do put 10 Tom Anderson guitars against 10 Fender custom shops. It will be the Andersons. There's no doubt. As a guy that's played thousands of guitars in his lifetime, until Fender wakes up, which, hey, they've got a new CEO. I hope this dude coming in walks the line. And I hope he's waking up and realizing that PRS is out-stratting him with the number one Strat artist in the world. John Mayer, currently right now alive, is the number one Strat ambassador. And PRS is out-stratting Fender. How in God's name do you let that happen? This is what I'm saying about the load box game. What was the best thing to happen to Fractal? Quad Cortex. Fractal's like, oh, okay. Y'all gonna do that? We're gonna do Dynacab technology. Okay, you're gonna do that? We're gonna do this. That is beautiful. To me, that's the win. That is the win. Competition is a great thing. It's a great thing. It makes the entire consumer base better. What a time to be alive as a guitar player. Think about it. You're going to buy a brand new guitar. Look at all the great options you got. Let's talk about NAMM predictions. Who's coming out at NAMM? Who's coming out swinging? Y'all tell me. Here it is. Gurepele. Gurepele said PRS outstratting Fender is the definition of bad management. And here's the thing, Fender can absolutely make a great Strat. There are some talented builders over there. But their idea of 200 versions of the Strat, and they ain't that different, and their idea of you got to get into the $6,000 and $7,000 range before you're playing ball against a $3,200 Suhr or a $3,300 Anderson, that ain't it, man. Like, that ain't it. It's Dave Music 5150 is saying the boutique standard is the Fender and Gibson highest reach. I mean, that's an interesting way to word it, right? Like the standard Suhr Classic or Tom Anderson Strat, that's the highest Fender that you can get. Boy, that's not right. That's backwards town. They need to take a page out of Chevrolet's book and be like, all right, we're going to build a hypercar that competes and outruns $2 million cars, and it's going to be $240,000. We're going to call it the Corvette ZR1X, and it's just going to outrun everything and let everybody else deal with it. If they don't like it, beat it. It's like the Tom Brady thing. If you don't like it, do something about it. You know what I mean? I think that Fender has the ability to do that. I think Fender absolutely has the ability to do that. Singing hard at NAMM, mark my words. Oh, yeah, Doug says John Suhr's got a surprise back in summer, and I know what it is. Yeah, I probably do. Would Suhr even think about coming out with a sub $1,500 guitar? Dave Lavello, I don't know. As an artist, personally, I have mentioned that I would love an Andy Wood model that was an SE competitor because I grew up without dough and I grew up without cash. And I had to take out loans to buy gear and stuff like that. I'm the one that would love to have a $1,200 SE, $1,000 SE version of my guitar, Indonesian made. I don't know what that looks like. It's layers upon layers upon layers of red tape, especially in a tariff scenario. What's it going to take to make that happen now in a tariff environment? I don't know. That's real. That's real talk. So You know, is it something that could happen? Yeah. Is it something that can happen in the current climate? Ugh. God, you pay $500 in tariffs, right? I don't know. Vinsky says, hey, Andy, bit off topic. Have you played any Larrivee guitars? I actually own a Larrivee guitar. I love the Larrivee guitars. It was my main workhorse until American Airlines decided to crack the thing. They put a nice big crack on the top. I had to have it bonded, and I've not been able to trust it going back out, dealing with air pressure and stuff since then. Maybe it's fine, maybe it's not. I don't know, you know. Sigurd is saying, sir, did have the Rasmus model, but everyone had to be sent to California to be fixed. That's exactly right. To be specific, they came through California. So as the Rasmus came in, they had to be addressed and adjusted, and it drove the price point up, not only of the Rasmus, because it's pushing production back on the regular Sirs. What do you do? You know, what do you do here? Interesting. So who's gonna walk away with NAMM? Who's gonna walk away with NAMM? Could Sir manufacture in Mexico? I don't know. Mexican Sir? I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer to these things. That's an upper management. That's an upper management question. I'm middle management. Okay, Visach Trucci, great to see you again here, my friend. Hope you're doing well. He says, I know what Neural DSP is going to be showing. NDA restrictions. I can't say anything about it. It's going to make some people happy. It's going to make other people mad. That'd be interesting. All right, let's hit this one. This is a scorching hot topic, at least with the younger kids. With the blippity bloop guitarist, you know, I don't know what you call that genre, but the blippity bloop guys. The Tosin Abasi looking guitar that's the Kaizen, but it's not the Kaizen from Ibanez. Like, what are we doing over there? You guys know what I'm talking about? NAMM will be a Yamaha year. Okay, so is Yamaha going to do what I want them to do, which is release a Matteo Mancuso and a Chris Buck guitar? You know? What's that guitar called? Roadstar? Revstar? Is that right? The ones that they play? The Yamaha bends for nobody. I love that. Yamaha will never bend the knee. I would love to see it. Is it called the Revstar or the Roadstar? It's the one that looks like kind of like a Les Paul Jr. Yes. Which one is it? Revstar. Yeah. Yeah, Revstar. I think the hottest thing they could do is load up with Matteo and Chris Buck, put out two dudes right now that are young and killing it respectively in both sides of what they do. Chris is a monster melodic player. Tone. Matteo's got chops. Jesus, he's got chops. They're good. They're good players. Scott is saying they are doing a Chris Buck. You're saying this is factual. Has this been announced, or are you just talking? Like, are you just saying stuff on the internet, or is this real? Greg says we got time with both of them at NAMM. Greg Goldberg says this. Blippity bloops. Poor songwriting and inaccessible to the masses. I mean, you know, it's like I think there's room at the table for everybody. Let's clear that air up. You know what I mean? I don't feel like Tim Henson is going to take my gig. I also don't feel like I'm taking Tim's gig. I feel like he makes motorcycles and I make monster trucks. Like, we just do a different thing. You know what I mean? So that's something that I think is funny with the way the internet, especially internet guitar, keyboard warriors, so much gatekeeping. You know what I mean? this guy's better than that guy. This guy's better than that guy. And I'm just like, what makes it better? Because nobody can do what the other guy does. You know what I mean? Nobody can do what the other guy does. Davey says somebody get Mateo a suit. I love that he comes out there in a hoodie. It's like he don't care. I love it. So Guitar says, I'm not so sure music is the mass appeal identifier. I've been waiting on somebody to say it. And you, my friend, you're my target. At ER_GTR. I'm about to come for you right now. Next week, I'm going out on Shiprocked. It's sold out. It's been sold out. This is thousands of people going on a music cruise. Last week, it's all rock and shred and metal and bleh. Last week, yeah, I'm coming for you. Last week was Rock My Playa. That is Luke Bryan, Shenandoah, Zach Ty, the whole country squad. It's sold out. I absolutely 1000% believe that live music is hotter and more live than it's ever been. People want to go experience something. They want to. Now, what you're addressing is the consumption of music when you're not at a show. That's a very valid thing. That says, going back to Guitar, he's saying, I'm not so sure music is the mass appeal identifier it was anymore. Culture is becoming more niche across the board. You're talking about the consumption of music when you're not at the live show. Billy Strings is selling out night after night after night. Joe Bonamassa, Visach going on tour. Every genre, everywhere. Now, R&B and rap is at a lower, not R&B so much, but rap is at a lower point than it's been in the past 25 years. Nature of the cycle, whatever you want to call it. But my point's the same. Live music is in demand, you know. Not just cruise, not just Rock My Playa. We're talking about live concerts. I mean, I went to, Thompson Bowling 3 or 4 times last year. Every show sold out. That's our arena. I mean, like, live music is kicking butt, man. It is kicking butt. So it's the consumption of music. But here's another thing. Guitar playing and guitar sales are rocking and rolling. Pedal sales are down because there's too many guys in their garages. They've oversaturated the market. There's too many boutique pedal guys, so now they're just eating each other's lunch. You know what I mean? It's like they've hurt that. But like Boss is still doing their thing, like Sweetwater, AMS. Like these companies are smashing, They're rocking and rolling. Jason says, I can't remember the last time I checked out a live band. Well, then you're due. Then you're overdue to go see some music. Here's Josh, 7618. People want to feel the photo and see it develop. No longer do they want big tech generating their photos from the data. Here's ER guitar. I was picking on him. But I'm gonna let him rebuttal. He says, I guess what I'm saying is people aren't talking about the new records as much. Staying power for artists and bands outside the 1% is the way it was. Yeah, that's different, right? That's the consumption. That's the consuming of music out in a product-based singularity format. However, a guy like me, I don't have as many roadblocks making a record like Charisma that I would have had if I was putting that record out in the 90s, if I was, my age now in the 90s. Way more roadblocks, way more artificial walls, way more gatekeeping. Now you got direct to consumer. You get the power of 1,000 loyal fans behind you. You can conquer the world. You just got to find your people. Find the people that like the way you play, and find the people that like how you approach the instrument, and keep feeding that. You keep feeding that thing. Yeah, I mean, like the AI thing's interesting. I think that's why I'm not worried about AI is because at the end of the day, it's not going to stand up there and put on a show. Like I'm going to put on a show, right? Motionless and White, Kill Switch Engage, Garth Brooks, Nicki Minaj, like they're going to put on a show. AI is not going to be them. If it was, there would be AI Michael Jackson and it would be the #1 touring thing in the world, but it's not. Because after the shtick wears off of seeing a hologram, it's like, yeah. AI can't improvise. Here's your AI thing that's interesting. Here's your AI thing. AI, had it been where it is now from a power standpoint and an ability standpoint, had it been the thing that came out in the 80s and you said, hey, make me the new musical revolution, make me the new biggest record, the last thing it would have done would have been make a record that sounds like Nirvana, because it didn't have anything to base it on. You see what I'm getting at? Innovation is really hard for it because it's calculating and basing everything off of what has come before it. It wouldn't have made a Jack White record. It for sure wouldn't have, out of nowhere, had Johnny Cash covering Hurt by 9 Inch Nails. Now hold on. You can absolutely say, hey, AI, make it sound like Willie Nelson is singing I Like Big Butts, right? Like, you got to feed it that, right? You got to prompt it on that. But at that point, you're the one that's creatively doing that, right? You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have just volunteered it. Scott Gaylor saying not yet. I mean, hey, all this stuff can go the way of James Cameron and Skynet takes us. But it ain't happening tomorrow. And it ain't going to happen next Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Like, the live show and live entertainment and the experience of walking through a theme park, the experience. Why do you think nobody cares about keeping, their Teslas? Why do you think nobody cares about the iPhone 13? Because it's just outdated. Well, now it's outdated. But people will restore a 1968 Yanko Camaro. Why is the SF90 Ferrari like depreciating unbelievably? Just an unbelievable amount of depreciation. That car was $800,000. They're in the threes now. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, all the ones from the mid 2000s, like the 458s and 430 Scuderias, 458, what's their big one? The Speciale. Those things are through the roof. They're 400% increase appreciation, right? It's because people like an experience. People like to experience something. I think now we're getting back to the same aesthetic question. So who is the load box for? The load box is for a guy that wants to experience an amp like the Diesel Herbert or a late 60s Marshall Plexi that would blow you through the wall. But if you got a Friat Power Station or this new Pete Thorne box, you can experience this amp in all its glory. Could you do it in this tiny, handy-dandy AM4? Yeah, you can. You can record, you can sit at the front of the house, but you can't experience it. It's got to be translated. It's like an interpolation. A modeler is like an interpolation of the amp because it's at the mercy of these Mackies. How are they going to color the sound? It's at the mercy of my JH Audio in-ears. How are they going to color the sound? Because it's going to have one EQ curve in my ear. It's going to have a different EQ curve through these Mackies. It's going to have a different EQ curve through a big line array PA. But this Plexi on a greenback cabinet sounds like a Plexi on a greenback cabinet. You know what I'm saying? You can experience that. Then let the load box sit at the front of the house, and then it's somebody else's problem. You know what I mean? That's where inspiration, I think, really lives in your playing. Look, man, do those Space Shovel hyper ergonomic guitars, do they play super comfortable? Do they sit perfectly? Do they have this perfect balance? Yeah, they do. I don't like it. I think Ola Strandberg is a genius. I love that dude and what he's about and his whole thing. I don't like his guitars, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that can be okay. This absolutism, tribalism kind of foolishness is where all the gatekeeping gets. People don't realize that you can have Strats and Les Pauls and Tellys. Play what you want in that moment. You know? Then you can have a Telly with a Floyd on it and really piss people off. You know what I mean? It's interesting. It's an interesting thing, and I think all of this stuff, we're not taking a chance to go, hey man, what's in it for the consumer? What can we have? What can we have? You know? Yeah. All right, let me hit the chat here. Dustin Chang, good to see Dustin yet again. Good to see you, brethren. He says, I don't know how Fender could endorse to boost sales. They've tried shredders. They've tried rhythm guitarists. Did it change anything? I think it's the price point. I don't know if Fender's doing it for a boost in sales. I don't really understand it. What makes someone attractive to Fender other than it's just repping the brand? At the end of the day, you got to have players playing your guitar, but Fender is the guitar of Eric Johnson. Fender is the guitar of Jimi Hendrix. Fender is the guitar of Eric Clapton. Fender is the guitar of Brent Mason. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've got everybody. You know, they've done everything that they've gonna do as far as that goes. I think they just want dudes out there repping the brand. And that's cool. I think that's a cool thing. You gotta have people repping your brand. Mark Lettieri is one of the most exciting Strat players on the planet, and he's playing PRS. You know what I'm saying? So Fender needs some Strat players. It's about having somebody modern. It's about having somebody. Did you put out a record this year? You know what I mean? Like, it's an interesting thing, right? It's like, with Sir, it's like, yeah, I put out a record in the past 16 months. You know what I mean? Just sooner than that, right? Like, sooner than that. Not just make YouTube videos. Like, I've toured in the past. I toured my butt off last year. I was gone. You know, this is important for companies to have guys that are doing the thing, not just making content, because people frankly are kind of sick of content, whatever the hell that means. As a guy that makes it myself, I think that's what makes live streams more exciting, is that it's not this is happening in real time. Like, this is something that's it's in motion right this second, right? Pre-made content, like, what are you gonna do? Swipe again and see another shredder? I'm sure it's gonna be great. You know, everybody's great, but now you're opening Pandora's box for this Ithaca situation. Who was the guy? Was it Jacob Records or Jacoba Records or something like that? He did a whole thing, just lighting up Ithaca, and like, posting some live stuff that was less than stellar. And I don't think it's because Ithaca's a bad player. I think Ithaca's a great player. He's super creative, monster innovation. It's just he's setting this bar of like unplayable music and making it look like it's playable, right? Like, presenting it as if it's playable. It's like, I think that's what the rub is, you know. Guthrie is the polar opposite, right? Like, you know, it's like, can't even believe what that guy can do, right? Crazy. But I think this is kind of related, kind of dovetails into it, right? You know, the modern guitar player is starting to have this like stigma on it. The modern Instagram guitar player or content creator, it's like guys that are faking everything and presenting it to the world as if it's happening in real time and it's really possible or whatever, you know. And I think manufacturers are sick of it. I'm friends with a lot of dudes in the manufacturing side of the game. They don't like it because it almost hitching your wagon to that is getting people hitched up. It's like presents a sense of, it invalidates the product's authenticity, right? Versus going to see Rascal Flatts and Joe Don's touring with Quad Cortex. Like, that validates it because he's up there playing hit songs in an arena full of people and he's playing. There's no tracks playing his solos. right? It's like Def Leppard. Like nobody's playing Vivian's parts, playing them, right? Validates it. And so you're interested in what, like Guthrie Govan, right? Like we just talked about how his greatness and everything he's capable of. You know that instrument's got to be good. You know that Charvel's a good guitar. You know it is, because he's a monster player. He's gonna have that thing dialed in, so it makes you curious about it, right? The authenticity. I think that's the John Mayer thing, right? Like when he went to PRS, he validated that Strat being a very authentic Strat, you know, right? Davey says, "See my previous comments on your rig versus load boxes." Here where is that at, Davey? They backed Edge and Wong. They're failing. I don't know if that's true. I think Corey Wong is incredible at what he does. He's an incredible entertainer. He's an incredible visionary. He's an incredible rhythm player. He's an incredible band leader. Like, he's got all of these other stats. Like, has he got, you know, Pat Metheny level of chops? No, I think Corey would be the first to tell you that, you know. But I think he encompasses a very specific part of what a Stratocaster is. You know, funk Strat, yeah, I think of Corey Wong. He's carrying that, right? Carrying that like torch. Okay, here we go. I heard Uncle Larry. I just scrolled too fast. I wanted to read that, and I scrolled just a little too fast. I think I lost it. Where was it at? Here it is. Jason Hobbs. I heard Uncle Larry say he hates digital modeling. He complained about the digital artifacts on the end of the notes. What's your thoughts on this? I'm okay with digital modeling myself. I think it's got its place. I think I can get some really good sounds out of the digital thing. I really prefer amps just because I like amps. But, you know, I think do I use the fractal stuff? Do I use the modeling stuff? Yeah. I think the Fractal VP4 is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but that's just the thing that I like, right? I want those high quality effects on my tone, right? Hey Andy, what's your presets on AM4 on your Patreon, please? Oh, Paul, thank you for the reminder. Yes, the folder is done. I will upload those today for you guys, and they will be for sale to the general public, hopefully tomorrow. So if you go to andywoodmusic.com to the store tomorrow, it is, I think, around 16 or 17 AM4 patches. Patreon members are going to get those early. And, of course, that's part of, like, their perk. If you're in the combo tier or higher, you're going to get all of them. If you are in the lower combo tier, I'm going to hand pick, I don't know, maybe 8. And then give you those. But if you're in the combo tier or higher, you're going to get all of them. So they're going to be on the website on hopefully tomorrow, andywoodmusic.com, and it'll be like 17 AM4s. You know, there's a lot of like inspired by like fan base type of stuff. Like there's a Dave Gilmore Comfortably Numb kind of thing that I did. There's an Eric Johnson Austin City Limits thing that I did. There's some fanboy stuff like that. There's a like an AC/DC Big Gun kind of Thunderstruck, like modern Mutt Lange era kind of tone in there. And then of course there's just like the stuff that I use, like the chicken picking tones or the high gain tones or the stuff like that I like just a Marshall JM45 kind of thing, you know. So yeah, that's coming. Uncle Larry's lived off the M9 though. Yeah, I don't think it's a model. You know, I don't think I think it's just the fact that with the modeling stuff, you have to sit with it a little bit longer. You know, you have to dial it. Dave says Axe-Fx is the ultimate. Comes down to your knowledge, patience, and attention to detail. Yes, I agree, Davey, but it still is what is coming out of, right? It's at the mercy of whatever device, whatever line array, whatever monitors, whatever headphones. You're at the mercy of that. Versus an amplifier, when I plug into that deluxe reverb sitting up there, it comes out of that speaker up there and it sounds like a deluxe reverb. Perfectly. It sounds just like a deluxe reverb. You know what I'm saying? Bad thing today is you're seen as a hater if you don't like something. I don't know if that's true. Maybe. Maybe. I think it just depends on how you deliver your opinion, you know? I think it can be like this. If I said Polyphia sucks, I would be viewed as a hater. If I said I don't like Polyphia, you can't really say I'm a hater. That's just saying that I don't like it. It has nothing to do with the quality of it. Ironically, neither. I think they're great. I think Polyphia is awesome. Tim does his thing, and it's his own thing, and I'm a champion for it. Like, I think Polyphia rules. But it's in how you word something. I think the Les Paul sucks is a different sentence than I don't like Les Pauls. You know? People need to justify they spend less and play until they write the next Layla. Maybe? Let's just hit a couple more questions. Davey Music says Fender and Gibson, they're shooting for short-term returns, period. Boutique builders build what they want. Big guys are spreading the distance between cost and price. Yes, but we are seeing a change in how business is done. You can see it with how Gibson's handled the past 8 years versus how Gibson handled the past 25 years. So there is some attempt to regain market faith and legitimacy, like a better word. What about ears monitor? You play with that? It's not the same sound when you hear a wedge on your feet. Any experience? Andy, talking about the in-ears. Yes, I use in-ears with Gary LaVox, who is the lead singer for Rascal Flatts. When I do his solo stuff, I use in-ears with the Skank Banger 80s tribute show that I do with Ben Eller. In-ears are their own thing. They're very different than wedges, but they have a lot of benefits. So it's not really better or worse. It's different to different. And it's, what are you doing, right? Like, what are you doing with it? Shredding Finn says, that's why when anyone criticizes sloppy technique, I say it's organic. That's really good. Do you have any more interviews like the Rick Beato one coming out? Right now I'm drowning in all the catch-up. I've got to do Shiprocked. I've got to get the Woodshed lineup announced. There is too much to do. No interviews. No promo right now. I'm drowning. I'm drowning in work. So it's a good thing. This is Guitar back in the house saying it's important to keep in mind that players like Corey Wong might be really reminiscent of past players, but the kids hearing funk for the first time, he's their guy and it moves them. That's really good stuff right there. A lot of people have emailed me from different parts of the world that didn't know anything about country music and chicken picking, and I was their gateway drug. In no way, shape, or form do I consider myself an innovator whatsoever in that genre. Maybe I pull the sides of the country music and bluegrass music genre. Maybe I pull those sides out a little bit farther with reaching into the shred fusion kind of thing farther. But I don't consider myself a tele-innovator like a Jerry Reed or something like that. But I absolutely could be a conduit for someone who has never heard country music. They got to me because they listened to Dream Theater or Steve Morse or something, and they maybe heard my stuff and was like, oh man, this bluegrass stuff's cool. I'm going to check out Dale McCurry Band. I think that's, maybe that's a relatable kind of thing to what you're saying about Corey. I think that's absolutely valid. Absolutely. The roasted maple and the blue color on the Sur looks killer. Yeah, this is a killer spec. This is going to be called GT Blue. It's specifically inspired by the 2005 Shelby GT500. No, not that car. Sorry. The 2005 GT40, the Ford GT40 had a blue on it that was like it. And that's what this is inspired by. The red is just a nice candy apple red makes you think of the old 50s Corvettes, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. True candy apple, kind of hot rod color. Jason Kerr, 931. 2 years ago, I got to attend the final night concert of the Woodshed Guitar Experience. I wanted to say thank you for your kindness, approachability to myself and my son. Good human brother. Jason, it was great to host you. That's what we do, man. Like, we're all in this thing. We all like guitar. We all want to hear good guitar playing. We all want to play good gear. It's just what we do, man. I appreciate the kind words, but that's why we're here, brother. Sean Tubbs, he is asking, is the Fractal VP for the business? It's the first time I've looked at getting a modeler. It's as much a modeler as the Eventide H9 is. Or the Line 6 M whatever, M9. It's not an amp modeler. In no way, shape, or form is it going to amp model. But if you need Eventide quality effects with a better UI, more options, more tweakability, I think it's the Eventide killer, personally. That's just me. I think the reverbs and delays and the pitch shift is world class. Sean, if there was a better time-based unit, I would play it. There's not. That I've tried. I like the halo delay. I like, certain reverbs. I think this new Cornerstone Nucleo reverb is fantastic. Lord knows I love the Strymon stuff. But an all-in-one box that's this big for your time-based stuff. I mean, of course, there's distortion pedals in there too, but I use regular distortion pedals. I think it's the best. And then, where was that? Do you ever make Helix or Tonex presets? Yes, we have a small amount of Helix presets that I made on the Helix Stomp. Maybe one day we'll do some more. I just don't have the bandwidth right now to do that at the moment. Tonex stuff is coming, but not soon. Don't want to set false expectations. Fractal stuff I can rip through in a heartbeat. I love it. Truth on the output of what the Axe-Fx comes out of. Yeah, man, you plug it through a JBL monitor, then plug it through a QSC monitor, and they're going to sound different. It's just the nature of the game. I'd love to have Leon Todd on the live stream just to hang out. I see you guys talking about that. I think Leon's great. He's a delight. Just one of the best dudes in the game. Hey, Andy, I'm working on learning the Universal Mind intro lick. The string skipping is kicking my ass. Any tips? I don't remember if that's the one that I'm thinking of. Like, listen to that. It's so wide sounding. Get that tuner real quick. There we go. I mean, that's just glorious. It just dissipates in a perfect way. That's that VP4. Yeah, just sounds so real. Is Universal Mind the one that goes like this? Is that Universal Mind? I don't. It's something like that. Is that the one? Is that the one we're talking about? So okay. So this string skipping thing, started trying to get it just in the middle. You're trying to get what it feels like in the right hand to feel normal. The accents, right? Start with like maybe a. And then you jump to the top strings, right? It's out of F. Right, you're just kind of trying to get comfortable with what it feels like. I can't do it without doing the lick, but I'm trying. Right? So you're just getting used to what that kind of feels like. And now you're just going to jump the string. That's like another really cool one. One more time. Okay. When you're learning it, and you're just trying to get used to the hand driving down the road at that speed. And you want to have the accents to where they feel good. You can establish some pocket and some groove. It's been a while since I've tried to play it, but yeah, I mean, same kind of thing. You know. It's really not that different from the solo in Burn, really, you know? A lot of that kind of stuff is in the Free Range Chicken tune that I've got. You know, it's kind of jumping around through the string sets like that. Yeah, it's the gearbox. It's always the gearbox. It's the best. And this is without the little EQ that I had in the VP4. So this is like more of a syrupy kind of. This is more of a what I use for the syrupy kind of EJ tone. Sorry. My chops need to be brushed up a little bit. But yeah, it's like the thicker kind of sound is the gearbox, yeah. So that's, you know, it's definitely got more of that EJ thing. easier with a mute on, right? I still can't get the last note. There we go. So that's the gearbox, just kind of doing what it does, right? You know. Is a load box basically a master volume and a cab sim put together? Yeah, that's kind of how to look at it. And a place to put your effects loop. Yeah, I use them. I mean, running the amp clean, yeah, because I want the amp as loud as I can get it. The amp itself. You know what I mean? To where it's working. Don't care what Neural does. They lost my trust years ago. They still have not delivered what they promised 6 years ago. I've bought and sold that unit twice. Wow. I mean, you know. Can you briefly explain the basic concepts around the note choices on the EJ sounding stuff? Yeah. Like, really, it's about taking just a simple pentatonic and stretching it, right? The thing that doesn't sound like EJ is when you play pentatonics like... This sounds very bluegrass. Those are like very much like the way, turn some delay off, the way Tony Rice would travel up and down the neck. But like the EJ thing is to put it in like groups of 5. See what I mean? So another thing that EJ does a lot is those kind of like skip, where you're kind of combining a minor pentatonic with an arpeggio too. See how they start sounding like a waterfall when you start changing the note amount. Adding those little Celtic pull-offs is another one right there, right? See what I mean? Like, it's really this same information, but it's like pulling it wider and walking through the scale diatonically. Yeah, Jason's wanting the orange guitar. Here we go. This is going to sound a little bit different because it's got an ebony board, but it's still swamp ash and maple on the neck. This has really old strings too. You know, it's very, very similar. I got to clean the neck of this thing. The frets are a little truss rod adjustment too. Cold weather here in Tennessee is wreaking havoc on all my instruments. Just a little bit of a yank on it. the solo. I did at one point. Right? Something like that. Maybe. What was that? Martin Miller lick? Right. Yeah. Aldi Meola would be awesome at Woodshed. Golly dang. Yeah, maybe so. Brian is asking for, you have to check the website on andywoodmusic.com. I mean, it's just maybe the nature of the tone, too, that I've got dialed in. You know, it's a bit different, right? Than that, right? Right? So there's the orange. They are limited. If anybody's interested in the orange specifically, or the red, the two limited edition colors, there's the red, here's the orange. Only available, what's out there is out there. There was 100 in each color. That's all they're going to do. And yeah, 10-year anniversary. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have one more in stock at Open Chord in Knoxville. So I don't know if AMS or, Sweetwater, I don't know who's got one in stock, but I think there's one more in stock at Open Chord, and I can't remember if it's the red or the orange. So yeah, open chord in Knoxville, 10-year anniversary, carbon fiber, total hot rod. This is based off of Arancia Borealis. This is a Lamborghini color. A lot of people thought it was the McLaren Papaya, but it's not. This is the Arancia Borealis. Fabulous looking color. Just spectacular. Matching headstock too. It's killer. All right, Chuck is saying, I'll check inventory and see how quickly we can get the signed vinyl back in stock. Please send an email to sales@andywoodmusic.com. There you go. All right, guys, we have went a little longer by an hour. But it's been a good hang, and I appreciate you all. It's been a great time today. Just talking a little smack, talking opinions, talking a little NAMM, talking a little Shiprocked, but I've got to dig in here and make sure I know these tunes and really get my fingers around them. So there will be no stream next week. I'll be aboard Shiprocked on the high seas. There will be no stream next week, and that goes for Masterclass as well. If you're interested in being a Patreon member, let me tell you what you get. You get a weekly live masterclass that's done via Zoom. So it's a lot nicer. You can interact, you can chit-chat, talk licks, teaching licks. That's all at patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. It also is what allows me to keep the channel going, and there's about 600-700 lesson videos pre-recorded on there. There's all kinds of different content, and I'll, of course, be doing a mini pack of AM4 tones for Patreon members. So you Patreon guys really get a lot of goodies. If you're interested in CDs, albums, tour dates, all the other things, the store where you can get merch and hoodies and hats and t-shirts and all that kind of good swag. We're on the mission. We've got to buy Chuck a McLaren. I said about 3 weeks ago we're going to buy him a Ferrari. He doesn't want a Ferrari. He's not an Italian guy. He's a British guy. He wants either a McLaren or an Aston Martin. So the only way we're going to be able to do this is if you go to the store and buy t-shirts. We're going to get Chuck this McLaren or this Aston Martin. Look, he needs it, right? He's driving around. He ain't got one. We're going to do it. We're going to sell enough t-shirts to get this man an Aston Martin. And what we'll do, we're going to take a bunch of pictures. We got to figure out something really foolish for him to wear in the photos. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we make enough money to get this man an Aston Martin, he's got to be wearing something like a tutu or something. Like something just real not good. You know what I'm saying? This is the move. I'm a Ferrari guy. I'm an Italian guy. I like the Ferraris. I like the Lambos. That's really my speed. That's what I like. There's Porsche fans out there, McLaren fans. Obviously, I have a Z06. I like the new Corvette mid-engine Z06. But yeah, I think there's a future for Chuck standing in front of a beautiful sports car that all these T-shirts that you guys have purchased have bought him. That's what we want to do. A lot of people with money, they're going, I'm gonna go gamble. I'm gonna coke and hookers out in Vegas. You know what I mean? Not me, folks. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get our sales manager an Aston Martin, and then we're gonna make him wear a tutu or something for the photo. Something awful, maybe a beer keg. I don't know. It's got to be not great. You guys maybe even decide what he has to have his picture in next to the car. So that's the move. This is the plan. We're going for it. Thank you for hanging out this week. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Be blessed. Be safe. Play some guitar.